guys. So for y'all that are new to my channel, what I'm going to be doing now is everybody's talking about the August 8th 8/8 Lions Gate. Okay, this is a very powerful time, you guys. Since the beginning of the year, I want to say it was New Year's around that time, and maybe a little bit before, leading up to that or leading after. I was doing meditations, okay, and I still do my meditations, but I was doing them on live, sharing them with you guys and helping you guys along the way as well. Okay, so we are going to be doing a meditation. You guys that might tune in to the live stream, you're probably going to have to watch the playback, okay, because I'm not going to stop, and this is not going to be one of those type of live streams where I'm like really engaging and interacting with the audience, but I am going to allow you guys to watch the playback by leaving this live stream up on public, okay? So we're going to break this thing down into three different portions. So the first portion, okay, is going to be about us taking our power back during this Lionsgate 8/8 portal, okay? It's at its peak right now, so it is like a few days before the 8th, and even I want to say like a week or two after the 8th, about a week, you can still manifest with this very potent Jupiter, Lionsgate, Leo energy, okay? But right now it's at its peak. So those things that are like a priority to you or very important to you, now is a good time for you to use this energy to manifest it, okay? So we're going to call our power back, and then the other two portions we're going to break this live stream meditation down into is for us to also reverse, okay? Return and reverse energy that does not belong to us, okay? And so we are going to be using, you can have either the color of red or black, okay? These colors are very important as far as grounding yourself, which is also going to be something that we're going to be doing, okay, you guys? So during the reversal portion, okay, which would be the second portion that we go into, we're going to be cutting and doing a cord cutting ritual as well, like we did in the beginning of the year in one of those live streams. So that's going to be the second portion, and then the third portion, we're going to be grounding ourselves. Red is the color of the root chakra, and it's also a good color for you to ground yourself. So when you watch this, I want you guys to go and grab certain tools. So it's actually kind of beneficial if you don't tune in during the live and you watch the playback, because you can actually go and get the things that you need. Another thing I will tell you guys that you're going to need, besides scissors or a knife, something to cut the cords of things that you want to release, is also going to be some sort of fragrance, okay? Everybody doesn't have Palo Santo and sage. Everybody doesn't even have incense, okay? So if you have something like a body spray, something that you like, okay, any type of fragrance, even if you guys are out traveling or you're in a situation where you don't even have that, okay, if you have anything that smells really good, because fragrances are, it's like aromatherapy, okay? It raises the vibrations, okay? So this is very important, okay? In fact, I would say like some sort of perfume or body spray is actually going to be more beneficial than an incense or a sage or a Palo Santo, okay? That's just a secret that you guys should know. Spirits like good fragrances, okay? And it raises your vibration, all right? So you're going to need that, the fragrance energy. You're going to also need like a knife or some scissors to cut that cord, and you're going to need a red shirt or a black shirt, okay? Preferably a red shirt, but if you don't have a red shirt, you can do burgundy, you can do dark blue or black, but it would be best if you have red or black, okay? Because this is good for grounding, okay? So that last portion is going to be with us grounding ourselves and putting it out, so that the next 5 months of the year, the remainder of the 5 months that we have, because you see, you guys, this year has went by so fast, okay? It was just New Year's and we're already in August. My goodness, okay? Hopefully you guys have been making progress. You guys have been checking off your list. You've been, breaking down certain, blockages, and you've been having major breakthroughs and things like that, So I hope that my meditations have helped you guys if you have tuned in the past, all right? Especially for you people in the beginning of the year when I did the meditation for targeted individuals. If you're somebody, you don't have to be a high level known targeted individual where everybody knows that you're targeted, and a lot of people have, been paid or compensated to attack you because you're such a high level target, okay? You're somebody that is a hard target, which is what they would call in that community. You don't even have to be somebody like that. You could just be somebody that knows that, people will get in your business somehow, or somehow you're always being attacked and things like that. This meditation, as well as the one that I did previously just for that, will still give you justice, okay? So you won't be left out. You won't be able to do the things that God put you on this earth to do. Your spirit guides, even if they want to keep that program going against you, you will still get justice. injustice, okay? So that will also help you, and grounding yourself is very important if you're dealing with that, because a lot of times you're dealing with so many different people in your energy, lack of privacy. So sometimes it can kind of get, especially if you're an empath, you know, which majority of you guys probably are empath. You're somebody that can feel other people's emotions and energies. It can be kind of, you know, it can be deceiving sometimes, like if certain energies and you know emotions are yours, okay? So grounding yourself is very, very necessary, and it's also very defensive, meaning it will protect you. It's really protective when you ground yourself in that root chakra, and it'll show you reality. And a lot of times when we ground ourselves, it's not going to be the same effect as it would be for somebody that's not necessarily being targeted or watched or attacked and things like that. You're not really under the radar of the deletes, okay, the dark archons that rule this earth realm, okay, or should we say the corrupt system that we're living in right now. Those individuals, you know, we know if you're a melanated being that you're like the number one, you know, hated person or hated energies on this planet. It's just genuinely because of your power, okay? That melanin inside of you, the ability to heal yourself, the fact that you are one of the oldest, you know, races, if not the oldest race that has walked the planet. And of course, you know, they're experimenting on us. They're trying to destiny swap with us. They steal our ideas. They've been destiny swapping with us. And so I think it's kind of funny how in the spiritual community and, you know, people that are like just talking about spirituality because it's trending, a lot of people love to hop on that topic of destiny swapping, but they're not realizing that black people since slavery, okay, have been being destiny swapped. We're supposed to be the ones that have it easier. We're supposed to be the ones that are having heaven on earth. And we're supposed to be the ones that are able to use our powers and lives like kings and queens and, you know, and rule pretty much. And, you know, that's not happening. So the first people that actually destiny swapped were Caucasian people. They destiny swapped with black people. And they have done this throughout the history of time. Some of the greatest that you know of, there was always a Caucasian person, especially when we're talking about like the media and, you know, entertainment industry, as far as like music and acting and stuff. They've always taken a melanated person's gifts and powers and talents and taken a Caucasian person to snatch that talent and completely do a destiny swap. One of my favorite examples of this is the great, beautiful Dorothy Dandridge. Halle Berry showed homage to her and also did a movie, you know, that was dedicated to her. Beyonce as well did a beautiful, you know, movie called a hip hop opera, Carmen Jones, and show homage to her as well, which is why these women went to the top, because they show respect. They acknowledged that it was women like this who had to go through some very unfair situations that placed them, you know, in scrutiny and judgment and pretty much be in a position, a vulnerable position to be attacked by the elites, you know, the dark elites, the deletes. And so those people show homage. They realized this. They seen, you know, reality that this woman should be everywhere. You know, Etta James, there should be certain people that are everywhere that we never forget, but instead you have Marilyn Monroe. So people like that were wise and conscious enough to see the racism and realize, you know, I don't want bad karma. I want my legacy to last, so I'm going to do the right thing when it comes to my people, you know. So that was just a little chit chat with you guys. As I already stated, yes, this type of stuff is happening as far as the gang stalking, as far as, you know, the being watched and being left out and feeling like, you know, things are unfair and injustice. And so it's best if you know you're targeted, okay? If you know that you're targeted, it's best for you guys to definitely meditate regularly. Now, these meditations that I do during certain full moons or certain times when I'm spiritually led and guided to do those, they definitely can help, okay? They definitely can, you know, make something shift for the better in your life. But it's important for you to do these things regularly, okay? Because what you're dealing with is not right. It's, you know, like I said, we live in a racist time. We live in, you know, some really corrupt times. A lot of you guys, last side note, that are in that category are also dealing with heavy hatred spells, okay? So we know about love spells, we know about money spells, we know about protection spells and things like that when it comes to rituals. But a lot of you guys have been flooded, should I say, with hatred spells. And so the reason why a lot of this gang stalking stuff and the injustices work, okay, is because they're constantly doing hate spells on you. So notice, if you find somebody that you click with, it, you guys seem to have a lot in common. Maybe this person comes on to you, not even just in a romantic way. I'm talking about come on to you like they speak to you first, or they initiate, you know, some sort of communication and contact with you, meaning they like your energy, you know, they realize that they're a normal person just like you, even if they're not necessarily being targeted to the extent that you're being targeted, they realize that, hey, you know, this person maybe can teach me some things, and I'm being, you know, treated misjudged, and I'm, you know, being treated wrongly as well. All of a sudden, after you guys make this contact, even if it was them that initiated contact with you first, or if you're somebody that went and subscribed, or you talked to a person, went up to a person and had conversation with them in person, however it happens, not long after, all of a sudden this person has like some really weird, unbalanced, low vibrational energy towards you. A lot of times that's because behind the scenes they're casting hatred spells. Okay. Another sign of this is where people you don't even know. Okay. There's one thing to have a dislike for somebody. There's one thing to feel like you have a reason why, but a lot of times what you'll notice with hatred spells is their reason can qualify for the same thing for a lot of people. So say a person says they don't like a person because of the way they dress, because of the way that they present themselves, because of the way they dance, because of the way they look, because of the way they act. There's like a lot of times you can tell if it's a hatred spell because it's like you can scroll social media or look around the world and you're like, okay, but that person is like that as well, or that person dressed or acts like that as well, or whatever. So what is it about? And so there you can identify the hatred spell. So it's like people just have weird reasons why they probably just don't like you or whatever, but it's not really a reliable reason, because they can say that about other people and they don't have that same energy towards them. It's like whatever reason that they say, they might like somebody and that person does the same exact thing or has the same energy, but it's like, but you don't hate that person, but you know, so that's another sign. And then another sign you can tell that you have hatred spells cast onto you is people that you love, things that you love, okay, will just vanish from your life, or you'll have a hard time holding on to them. And even if you don't have a hard time holding on to them, they will sometimes be like they're placed in your life. It could be a stuffed animal. Their place in your life will get threatened. It will get jeopardized. So it'll get to a point where it's like, you know, you might lose it a few times, or maybe, you know, you might just something might happen to it. You know, if we're talking about material things, if it's a person, a lot of times that person will kind of be distant no matter how much energy you put into keeping a solid connection. This could be siblings, and in my case that's what I'm talking about, where you constantly are trying to keep that bond. And a lot of times, because the love is real, they'll reach out, they'll definitely check on you, but it won't be when it comes to how current, how often you want it to be. Okay, so people, things that you love, as well as, you know, just pastimes, hobbies, okay, things that you know that you like. When I say things, I'm gonna just say energies. Okay, maybe you love watching a certain show, or you love reading a certain book, or you love listening to certain music. A lot of times that will be attacked somehow. In my case, you know, with those dark archons, they might, you know, interrupt a lot with commercials, or sometimes I might, you know, the gang stalking and harassment, should I say, that might peak, and that might, you know, kind of turn up, and they might up the ante when I'm trying to, you know, watch a show or listen to certain music that I love, or whatever it may be. So a lot of times you can also tell if you've been attacked with hatred spells like that, because like I said, people, energies, and things that you actually love will also kind of like be hard to hold on to or maintain. All right, and so that there is something else that you guys want to call into your life once we get to the grounding part, which is going to be the third part of the meditation. Once I say, okay, you guys, we're going to go ahead and work on this grounding exercise, I want you guys to also go up into the heart chakra if you can. All right, and just visualize. What I like to do sometimes that helps me, and I'm going to walk you guys through the grounding part. But what I like to do is imagine, you know, a movie theater, which we're also going to be doing this meditation in the dark. Okay, I have some LED lights that will also reflect and that will help you guys. This is why I'm walking you through this. So people that watch the playback, I'm going to put it in the description. But I want you guys to know that this is not something you can skip by. This is not a tarot video where I'm going to do a reading or a channeled message. No, you have to hear the instructions. This meditation is step by step. You have to listen to the instructions. Okay, so a lot of times when it comes to chakra meditations, all right, because sometimes it's like if your crown and third eye chakra is not programmed regularly, it can be hard for you to focus in on properly doing chakra meditation. So what I like to do a lot of times is imagine like a dark room. Okay, it's pitch black, like a movie theater. Okay, that's like one of my favorite visualizations to use, excuse me, and that's because you can see it from different perspectives. Okay, so like a movie theater, people are coming in and they're looking up at the people that are seated, okay? And so therefore you can see from their perspective as well as your own, all right? But in a movie theater, it's dark. So if you're thinking about, we're just using the heart chakra for example, you're going to imagine being able to see, I like to use neon colors are good, you know, lime colors and stuff, but I like to think about the color of like a green leaf, okay? The leaves on the trees, maybe a green crayon, the grass, okay? That type of, that's the most earthly type of green, not like an aqua green, not like a neon or a lime green, maybe even the color of a lime, okay? A ripe lime, that type of green is the color, but also with a lot of light, okay? So if you watch stuff like anime, if you watch stuff like cartoons, if you are somebody that's just very imaginative, right? Which I have Pisces in my chart, I'm a water sign, I have expansive Sagittarius in my chart, double in my rising and moon, so it's not hard for me to tap into these type of things. But if you can imagine shows like Pokemon and things like that, that is very great for you to visualize and properly do your actually on expert level do your chakras, okay? So you want to imagine that lime green color but in a glowing way, like it's a glowing light, okay? And you want to be able to look down from a first perspective, self perspective. You want to be able to look down in your mind, okay, not literally, and imagine seeing this, you know, light, this powerful light, like you can, you know, maneuver it and things like that, like you're in anime or one of those type of cartoons or something like that, and have, and also have it inside of your body, imagining that it's protruding, that light is coming out of your chest. And a lot of times you'll feel things shift, you'll feel more lighthearted, you won't be so tensed and, you know, stressed and angry about certain things that have affected your emotions, because that's what that chakra rules. And you also are going to do this and visualize this when it comes to other placements, other chakras, should I say, like your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, your throat chakra, your solar plexus sacral, and your root chakra, okay? So when we get to that root chakra meditation, you're going to imagine that, for some of you guys, you can go even deeper and just imagine that whole back, you know, you can see inside of there, and it's a glowing red light, like a base, you know, like an actual base red color, like this, like that, okay? I wear red lipstick. Sometimes I paint my nails red. I just like to work with this color when it comes to keeping me grounded, okay? But you can imagine that light is radiating and it envelopes you. That's a lot of times what I like to do. Imagine that light is so bright and that it's so, you know, intense and powerful that it wraps you up in an envelope, and now you're in this room that this root chakra light has pretty much created. And what it will do for your grounding is amazing, okay? This stuff is very important, you guys, because you can get swept up under certain negative energies, toxic energies of other people, other people's intentions, how they want you to act, and completely get out of your body and just crash out and trick you out of your spot, your blessings, and your overall stability, okay? So we're going to do that as well. That's going to be the third portion. So remember, the second portion is going to be with us also, you know, back to the third portion with the grounding yourself. You want to also, like I said, focus on bringing love into it, okay? I wanted to touch on that right before we get to the 20-minute mark. You want to focus on love, love, love. So when you get into that green heart chakra energy, like I said, like that base green color, one of the first greens, not all of the different ones, you want to imagine that it's a radiating light, okay? And that it's inside your body as well as protruding. That light is on the outside and you can see it like in a dark movie theater. It's just a big light of green just showing, just glowing, okay? When you get into that energy, okay, because I'm not going to pretty much tell you guys when to do that, because that main third portion is just going to be about grounding yourself. When you get into that portion, that's when you're going to be calling love, okay? Start with the self-love, all right? I really feel like people that are kind of like targeted, or you're dealing with certain, you know, mishaps and challenges in life, love as far as romance shouldn't be like your main focus. It should be more like self-love, because you need as much self-love as you can when you're dealing with like government injustices and crazy stuff like that. But yeah, you're going to want to use that green light for the heart chakra to also just love on yourself. Imagine yourself being in a forest where you can't see anything but greenery, trees, grass, okay? Even the birds are green, okay? You see beautiful flowers growing, all right? And you can add a little safari energy to it, maybe even, you know, seeing some sort of waterfalls or something like that. But overall, you want to get into that energy when you're meditating on that heart chakra space, on loving yourself, telling yourself heart chakra affirmations like, I am enough, I love myself, I forgive, things like that, okay? And it's for you. It's not to welcome in people that have hurt you, that don't even know how to love themselves. No, this is just so that your heart chakra can completely balance itself out and heal. So that's going to be the third portion, you guys. So again, that first portion is about us calling our power back and things like that. The second portion is going to be about us, did I say it backwards? It doesn't matter, you guys. The first one is about us calling our power back. The second one is going to be about us reversing, okay, and cutting cords. And that last one is going to be about us grounding ourselves. Now, one last thing I have to say, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the meditation, is which I'm gonna walk you guys through it when we get to this part, but I don't know, I'm trying to see, we're gonna do this one in the second one. We're going to chant, okay, because this is a protest. This is a individual protest. Your protest in your life. I want you guys to take this time as you're watching the playback and think about, what do you feel like is a strong injustice in your life, okay? Whatever it is, whether it's you're battling cancer, whether it is, you feel like, you shouldn't have to go to work every day and work so hard, and not, whatever that personal protest is that you guys have. When we get to the second portion of the meditation, where we are reversing energies, releasing energies that is not ours, and cutting cords, you're going to chant, no justice for me, no peace for them. No justice for me, no peace for them. If there is no justice for me, there will be no peace for them. Okay, you're going to chant this. You can put a little twist to it, however you want to say it. But this is what's going to, because we're going to call in our spirits and then we're going to get into the meditation. This is what's going to alert your spirit guides, okay, what you are affirming, what you are chanting. So until justice is served for you, that means whatever it is that you feel like is an injustice, you're going to have this at the forefront of your mind when you're saying, if there is no justice for me, there will be no peace for them. So if that means your finances, if that means the truth coming out about lies that have been told about you, if that means people that have, done things to you, done things to people that you love, done things to, your destiny, your future, okay, put their hands on you, okay, fired you wrongfully, whatever it is, until these things are made right and fair, they won't have any peace. All right, so that's the second portion, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this light off. I'm gonna call in and do salutations for all of my spirit guides. It's something that we like to do in my spiritual belief system, which is Haitian Vodou. So I'm going to do these salutations, you guys. This is optional. You don't have to have something that, like a drum or some sort of rattle or something like that, but you can, okay? But the main things, like I stated already, is a red or a blue shirt that you need to wear for grounding, some scissors or a knife, some sort of cutting utensil, so that you guys can cut the cords that we're going to be releasing when we get into the reversal meditation, as well as some sort of fragrance, okay? You can use incense, you can use perfume, cologne, body spray, okay? Palo Santo, sage, whatever it is, all right? So you guys, let's get into it. I want you guys to focus on your breathing during this salutation, during me calling in certain spirits that I work with, okay? I want you guys to inhale deeply and exhale and just release all the tension until I tell you that we're going to start the meditation. You guys, we're going to take 1 minute to breathe in deeply and exhale, okay? some of you guys as me being your guide during this meditation. I will turn on one more light so you guys can see me a little better, but remember that I want it mainly dark in here, okay, so that you can work with the chakra colors and everything like that, okay, the best that you can. And I almost forgot, you guys, the one other thing you're going to need besides scissors or a knife to cut the cord, some sort of fragrance, is a black or a red, really any color, but you should have another black shirt or red shirt to cover your head during this meditation, okay? So that is the other thing that we are going to do. But right now, we want to just go ahead. I want you guys to get into a comfortable position, all right? Indian style would be fine, but if you can't, just as whatever makes you the most comfortable. That is very important in grounding yourself, okay? You can do that when we get to that portion, but I think it's best that we just start this meditation with making sure that you guys are as comfortable as possible. But right now, I want you guys to release any sort of built up tension, okay, so that we can properly and effectively do this meditation, okay? So we're going to take a couple more deep inhales and exhales. And I want you guys to make sure that your intentions is not just on the remainder of this year, but the remainder of your life, okay? Making sure that you inhale, exhale, and release any tensions and any blockages that may stop you from being able to remember to meditate or remember to come back to my live meditations, okay? Making sure that justice is served and things are balanced and fair so that we do have another successful meditation, okay, you guys? A few more. Now we want to go ahead and cover our crown chakras. This is very important, you guys. Very, very important. And so as we're doing this, I want you guys to get prepared or prepare for the first 5-minute meditation that we're going to do, okay? 3 to 5 minutes. So right now we're going to call our power back. That's what this portion of the meditation is for. Many of you guys, especially if you're being targeted, you are very powerful, okay? You are a powerful manifester and things like that. So you're going to close your eyes. Some of you guys, you can keep your eyes open, whatever is more comfortable for you. And the easiest way, we're all creative, we're all individuals. You can use visualizations of lightning. You can use visualizations of your body being, filled with a white light. Or you can just imagine you lifting something that's really heavy. This could be a car, this could be a building, this could be a mountain. Okay, just some of the different creative things that my Haitian ancestors and spirit guides have guided me to do, which is why I've been able to get through what I've been getting through. And there has to be so many people attacking me all the time. They can't take me down with one person or a group of people. Just a goddess, literally a black goddess, okay? So I want you guys to close your eyes. We're going to go for about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, okay? Inhale, exhale. And we're going to do one of each. So imagine lightning coming from your fingers and you being able to creatively attack your enemies, okay, or just utilize and experience the energies of lightning in your fingers. And as you're doing this, I want you to say over and over, repeat in your mind or out loud, from wherever my power has been taken. I reclaim it. I reclaim my power. All of my power returns to me. And you can also ask the universe, universal energies, I request for all of my power to be returned to me. And don't forget about the lightning in your fingers and your hands, okay? And you can connect this to outer space. You can connect this to a black sky and imagine that there's lightning all over the sky and it's coming from your hands, okay? But I want you to say, universal energies, I request and I command and demand all of my power return to me. Whatever spirit is guiding you on how to say it. But use the energies of lightning, okay? You can use fire, whatever your creative lead being guided. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds to do this. All right, you guys. Now the next visualization we're going to use is lifting something up, okay? Lifting something up that is normally impossible for a human being to lift, okay? Your power and your strength go hand in hand, okay? So imagine, we're going to say a mountain, okay? So imagine a mountain, how tall they are, how big they are, okay? Give you time to create this visualization in your mind. Imagine where you're standing, how small you are compared to this tall, huge mountain, okay? And I want you to look at the ground you're standing on. Connect with that. Is it cemented? Is it, rocky? Is it, something that's like a dirt type of ground with sand? How does it look? Okay. Does it have grass? How does it look? And then I want you guys to take steps towards this mountain. Now, as you get close to where you can reach your hand out and touch it in the visualization, I want you to notice, where is it where you can kind of start to put your fingers underneath it? All right, make that connection and go ahead and start to push your fingers underneath this mountain. Now that you guys have done that, I want you to slowly begin to visualize pushing it and feeling and hearing and seeing it moving because of your strength. Yes, that's your strength. You feel it? All right. Now, as you do this, I want you to chant over and over in your mind, universal energies. I demand and I command all of my power and my strength back. And as you're doing this, imagine that the more and more you're saying this or visualizing, however you guys, visualizing, okay? Sometimes, I don't know, lately, Mercury in my chart, I've been getting like certain words mixed up. But as you repeat this over and over in your mind, I want you guys to notice the shift you created in your mind. But your mind will do it for you the more that your power and strength is returning to you. And I want you to imagine that you are lifting and pushing this mountain up more and more. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and do this. Now, one side note I will say is, if you're doing this, if you're visualizing this and you're imagining like it damaging in your back or hurting you or something like that, you need to start over. Not the whole visualization, but you need to reroute your mind. And normally, if your power and strength is accurately coming back to you, you'll be told to do that, okay? You'll be told to not think like that and to imagine that as you're lifting this, it's effortless. It's not even that heavy, okay? So again, I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds to use this technique here. I demand and I command the universe to return all of my power and strength to me. And it should be to where you can, push up and down this mountain. It's in your hands and it's, And if you've successfully done this the right way, you'll get to where your mind will say, well, you know, you can imagine yourself, especially me as a goddess, I'm doing this now, where you have the world in your hands. You have the entire earth world, the planet, in your hands. And you can push, you can hold it up. This is the type of power that the universe will give you as a goddess, especially if it's justified and maybe people have done things to turn the entire world against you. Okay? Now this last portion, I think I stated what we could do, but if you want to be more creative, that is going to be your choice. All right, but I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to use your own technique, but you need to just make sure that you are, you know, affirming that all of my power comes back to me. All of my power comes back to me. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to use your own creative visualization tactic or technique and reclaim all of your power. Okay. I'll let you guys transition back into a space where we will go on to the next portion of this meditation, okay? And that is going to be us reversing energies and cutting cords that do not serve us, okay? So you can slowly open your eyes. You guys can definitely go back on this video, rewind, or you can go back to these later and do them more, okay? Especially if you guys should really feel something has shifted in your energy. So I want you all to also go ahead and use whatever fragrances you guys have, incense, sage, or whatever you have, and go ahead and put that in the atmosphere around you. Okay, you've called your power back, you've inhaled, exhaled, and we've done the first portion. Congratulations, you guys. You've successfully called your power back. Okay, so you should feel very good. You should feel a high vibrational energy at this time with the aromatherapy that we've used, that technique. And so now we're going to get our cutting utensils. Okay, I'm going to use black and red. Black is good for banishing, red is good for action. All right, but we're definitely using the red for root chakra and grounding purposes. All right, which that's for the third. So what I'm just saying are the color of our shirts and things like that. So during this meditation, obviously it would be best to do it with your eyes closed to eliminate any distractions and things like that. But we're going to focus on sending back energy that does not belong to us. Okay, so before we go into this particular portion of the meditation, I want you guys to think about things that you struggle with every day, things that you've been struggling with maybe for months, years, some of y'all maybe just a few days. Okay, things that you have been trying to get under your control. Okay, and this could be a range of maybe 1 thing to 3 things to 15 things. It does not matter. I want you guys to go ahead and start bringing those things up to the forefront of your mind, okay, and focusing in on these things. Okay, this is a really good portal for us to use this energy to reverse those energies and cut these cords from us that do not serve us any longer. Okay, so whatever these things are that you guys have just had a really hard time struggling with, you've been trying so hard to get these things under your control, or energies and emotions, spiritual attacks that you know don't belong to you, now is a good time where we're going to reflect and reverse and mirror those energies back to the senders. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes, you guys. Make sure that you recharge by inhaling, exhale, and blowing out any residual energies or stress and tension. Now that we have a little bit more charge to us to do this, you guys, I want you to think about these things. Go ahead and start bringing them up to your mind, calling them out. Whatever these things are that you guys battle with daily. They are a challenge, maybe for some years, whatever it is. Go ahead and just start calling them out. Don't let any of them get away. Call these curses out. Call these energies out. All right. Now make sure that you imagine that you can take your hands. Your hands have a lot of power in them. Okay, imagine that you're holding up 5 in both hands on the side of your face. Now, all of these curses and these energies that no longer serve you, I want you to imagine that you are shrinking them with your hands, okay? Shrink them, shrink them, shrink them, shrink them. They are no longer a problem that is, that you can't handle. You're making them very small. They're a small thing to a giant. Use your hands and imagine that they are shrinking. They're shrinking. You should start to magically and very, very powerfully feel more powerful, okay? More optimistic when it comes to these challenges and these battles and these spiritual attacks. Just keep calling them out of your mind, recognizing them, okay? Focus. What is it? Is it your finances? Is it your independence? Okay, is it anger problems? What is it? Is it drug addiction? Whatever it is, they're shrinking. They're becoming so small that they can all fit inside of your hands. Now you can place your hands down, up, palms up in front of you with your hands still open, and use your mind to place these small problems, they're now small, into the palms of your hands. And you can go ahead and close your hands. You have a grip on these things. Affirm, I have a grip. I have control over these problems. Don't squeeze your hands too tight. I have control. I've got these problems under my control. I've got a grip on this. You can just keep affirming this right now as you continue to imagine that these big problems that used to be a big problem for you are now small and they are in the palm of your hand, okay? You have them. If it's poverty, okay? If these are court cases, if this is a custody battle, if this is a drug addiction, whatever it is, I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to focus and make sure that these problems are shrunken and that they are in your hand tightly. You guys should feel a very powerful shift happening right now. It might even scare you a little bit when it comes to you seeing faith, hope, and having power over these problems and these challenges that you guys have been facing for a while now. You might not right away see how you're going to be guided to overcome these challenges, but you will feel, as long as you're a good person and you have good karma, you will feel a very, very keen, unusual sense of faith and hope and optimism when it comes to overcoming these challenges, no matter how big they have been. You've just shrunken them. Continue to shrink these problems. Continue to shrink these problems and possess it in your hands. If this is a person or a group of people, the same tactic is needed. Just imagine that they are very small and can fit in your hand. Right, you guys? So now that you've made sure to shrink, whether it's health, mental health, okay, your psychological, your peace, all right, your home, whatever it is, okay, but be careful. Make sure it's not things that you don't want to release or cut from you, okay? Make sure it's the actual problem. Be specific. right, you guys. Now that you have these energies in your hand, what you want to do is visualize completely releasing them to the universe and say, I release these struggles, these worries into the universe. I am free from these challenges. I am free from the injustice. I am free from these challenges. I am free from these injustices. And just continue to tell this to yourself. Chant this in your mind, affirm this. I am free from these challenges, and just continue to throw them out. Imagine that you are throwing them to the universe and giving them to the Most High to handle, okay? And remember, this is a process. You can also call it out. Whether, like I said, this is poverty, this is, some sort of injustices with court cases, okay? Custody battles, okay? Your peace, okay? Maybe for some of you guys, you're struggling with something with your health, all right? Whatever it may be, it's released for me. It's released for me. I send this out into the universe to handle it. Okay. A couple more seconds, you guys. About 20 more seconds of this. Make sure you call it all out. Release it to the universe. Release it to the universe. Okay. This is a very powerful portal right now. Release it into the universe. I am set free from these injustices. I am set free from these injustices. I send them out into the universe. I am set free. I am released. I am set free from these injustices. I overcome these challenges. I send them out into the universe. I release them from me. All right. Now, you guys, I want you to focus on those energies. Keep your eyes closed. And I want you to imagine these energies reversing back to the senders, okay? Wherever they may come from. So what you're going to say, even while your eyes are closed, or whatever is better for you, okay, will still work, is you're going to say, I command and I demand that the energy of blank, whatever this energy is, or even if you don't want to title it something, you just want to say, I command and I demand that this energy is returned to its source, okay? And just imagine that it is being reversed back to the senders, okay? So I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to do this. Well, about 1 minute, starting now. What is it that you know is not yours, that you hate? What are the things that get you frustrated? What are the things that you're battling? What are your worst fears? What are some things that you have been trying to manifest that seem to not have been coming in? Whatever those blockages are keeping these manifestations from coming in. Now is the time to command and demand that these energies are reversed back to the senders or the source, or both, okay? About 20 more seconds, you guys. before we get into our cord cutting, what I want you guys to do is take about 2 minutes, okay, to focus in on those very energies that you just sent back to the senders, all right? And I just want you to meditate and say the chant in your mind. If there is no justice for me, there is no peace for them. And you can be as creative as you want. If there is no wealth for me, there is no wealth for them. If there is no peace for me, there is no peace for them. If there is no joy, if there is no freedom, okay? If there is no honesty being said, whatever it is that you want. But if you want to just keep it simple, you can say, if there is no justice, no victory, and no love for me, there will be no justice and no peace for them, okay? However, so we're going to go ahead and do this for about a minute or two and focus, 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 you guys. All right, you guys. I'm going to get ready to wrap that up and go into our cord cutting portion. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds because I know sometimes you can get very into it. Until they do right by us, there will be no peace and no justice for any of them. Until they do right by us, me and my children and people that are a part of my soul tribe, there will be no peace, no justice, and no victory for them. Until they do right and fair by the destiny that the Most High God has given us, there will be no peace, no life, no love, and justice for our enemies. All right? Now, I want you guys to go ahead and get your cutting utensils ready and imagine that any residual energy from anything that we have released, okay, anything that we have sent back out into the universe, that we have thrown out and got rid of, that may be still kind of straggling on. A lot of you guys really will feel very light. You'll feel like certain things have shifted and certain things have unattached from you, okay? And that's the beauty in it. So congratulations to all my divine feminine and masculine that have good karma, that are benefiting from this meditation, or that will. So any of the rest of the energies that may try to kind of stronghold you, have a stronghold on you, don't want to kind of let go. These are stubborn energies, all right? Energies that just are still kind of clinging to you. We're going to grab our scissors, okay, or our knife. And I want you first to imagine maybe 2 or 3 places in your body, okay? On your body, should I say. So we're going to use the arm, okay? We can also use the back, or should I say the mid area, or maybe you can use your leg, okay? But one of these should work for any and everybody that comes across this meditation that's divinely guided to do these practices, okay? So we're going to focus on the wrists with this first one, and then we're going to also do around our waist, and then we're going to do the leg area, okay? So go ahead and just imagine gathering any unwanted energy that might still be stuck to you from things that you have shrunk, that you have got control over, and that you have released out into the energy, into the universe, as well as any more energies that might still be stagnant that you guys have reversed and sent back to source, all right? And that you've affirmed that until there is justice, there will be no peace for our enemies. Go ahead and tie these energies around you. You can visualize this, all right, that there's a cord that you guys are attaching, and you're making it intentional that these are unwanted energies that might still be hanging around from the things that you want to release, the things that you've been struggling with, the things that are an injustice, the things that no longer serve you, okay? Focus, focus, focus. Place your intention on that area and that cord. And you can get as creative as you want. You can even tell it in your mind, I'm getting rid of you. I'm cutting you from me. I'm cutting you from me. I'm severing this connection. You have no place in my life, in my mind, body, or my soul anymore. Get your cutting utensil and imagine that you are successfully being able to hook underneath that cord and cut it from you. And release it, and then take a second to see how you feel. You should definitely undeniably feel a huge release. Alright, you can do that a few more times before we go on to the next area. One more for the arm, you guys. One more. Alright. So now we're going to use our, okay, we're going to go around the back in the waist area. So go ahead and imagine tying a cord when it comes to any sort of struggles, any sort of challenges, any sort of injustices. This could be, again, finances. This could be about your health, your peace, okay? Any sort of injustices, all right? Get your cutting utensil, pull that cord up, get underneath it good with your knife or your scissors, and cut it. Tell it, I'm cutting you from me. Anger, the stress, the poverty, the injustice, whatever it is holding you back from your dream life, from leveling up, from having your peace, okay? Now we're going to use the leg, okay, just for a third measure to make sure. Take a second. I know that you feel a great release at this time from energies that no longer serve you. I'm going to take the leg area, go ahead and tie. All right, you can rub that leg and just imagine that any of these energies that you have released that might still be holding on to you, okay, that there's cords that you can cut that they have turned into. Go ahead and grab one of them and pull it up and get your cutting utensil and cut it away. We're going to do this a few times. A few more, you guys. All right. Take a second and notice the shift. All right. You don't have to feel like grand, great, completely different results, but as long as you feel a lighter energy, you don't feel as heavy, because when you feel stress in your back, when you feel stress in your, some stuff is just natural. Maybe you move around a lot, you exercise, okay? So everything is not always stress related, but you will feel a difference, and that's what I like to give you guys a second to pay attention to and to notice, okay? So go ahead and just acknowledge that. Say a thank you to your spirit guides. You guys can imagine having a pure white light showering through you. Okay, let's just, have a white light shower. Cleanse us really quick now that we've got rid of that energy. Oh, that feels so good. Let that white light slowly go over certain areas where you guys may have felt a little tension, and you will definitely like the way that feels. Okay, give you guys a couple seconds to do this. Let it go over and shine through your chakras from your crown to your root. And then we're going to go into the last portion of this meditation, okay? Make that light as powerful and strong and bright as you like. And let it just go through all of your chakras. Get up in that heart chakra, that solar plexus, that sacral, and that root chakra. And just all throughout your body. Alchemizing, neutralizing, and getting rid of any energies and low vibrational frequencies that could be there under the arms, okay, in the lower back, in the middle of your back, your shoulder blades. Make sure that that light is shining strong and protruding all the way through. You can imagine that it's as big as you like, and that it's coming from the sky, where it's so bright you can't see anything but it. And make sure that it's going through every area, your throat chakra, okay? About 10 more seconds of this, you guys. This is exercises and practices that you guys can use as many times as you like. Okay, so the last portion is going to be with us grounding ourselves. All right, hopefully you guys do have a red shirt or a black shirt on and your head covered, okay? It really doesn't matter what color, but like I said, it works best if you have black or red, okay, you guys? So If you didn't want to get as comfy as possible during those other two meditations, that's fine. But this one I definitely would recommend either lying down or, you know, just Indian style, or just sitting into a comfortable position, as comfortable as possible, okay? Inhale, exhale, release all of those other energies. And I want you to close your eyes and visualize a place. You can make it as luxurious, as nice, as, you know, natural, earthly, or unique as you like. But I want you to go ahead and, in your mind, imagine your sacred room. Okay, this can be in the sky, this can be under the sea. All right. Make it as detailed as you like. I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds to go ahead and decorate it in your mind how you want it to be, but make sure comfort is the priority. It needs to be as comfortable as possible. Okay, so this doesn't even have to be something as grand or, you know, detailed, but as long as you guys are really comfortable. You can imagine a bed of clouds. You can imagine that you're getting a massage from, you know, 3 people. Okay, a 6-hand massage from your shoulder blades to your calves and feet. All right, but I need you guys to make sure that you're visualizing something that is very, very, very relaxing. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds to settle into this relaxing state that you have created during this meditation. All right, now the center focus is going to be the root chakra. Okay, now imagine a red light that is going through your body in this area, which is going to be the tailbone. All right, or it could be the bone that is like at the top in between the butt cheeks, in between the buttocks. All right, or just at the base of your spine. So you can touch your spine and go all the way down to where you can kind of feel like, you know, where it ends, where that bone ends. All right, but particularly it would be like the top of, you know, your shorts, your boxer shorts, or your underwear. Okay, so in that space I want you to imagine a huge red light. If you need some sort of guidance on how bright this light looks, just imagine a traffic light when you're out at night driving and you see that the traffic light has turned red. Okay, but make this big and make it more clear. It doesn't have to be as, you know, dusty or, you know, like a traffic light, but that's the color and that is the way that you want to visualize this light. And you can also make it much more brighter where you can see that that light is shining through. Okay, and you can imagine being in a dark room just to make sure that we get this chakra back in place and make sure that that area is right, and then you can go back into that comfortable visualization space that you've created. Okay, so imagine being in a dark room, a movie theater, a dark room, okay, where there's no light and there's a window, and outside, whether it's daytime or nighttime, preferably we're going to do nighttime, you guys, everybody can see this red light coming out of this room, and it's coming from your root chakra. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and activate and light that up. You're in a movie theater, you walk in from a second outside perspective, an outer body perspective, and there's people standing up, and then you can see their back and you can see that root, and you see the entire red light is shining all over, confirmation, but it's shining all over the movie theater. And you can make it as big as you want. You can imagine being able to go up to it and see what, you know, inside that person's back, and you see just the red light. You'll notice that you want to relax even more. Okay, that means that you're doing this the right way. You start to kind of release tension and stress, but just go harder for a few more seconds. Some of you guys probably prefer the visualization of being in a dark room, maybe sitting down Indian style, and that red light being able to shine even outside of that room. And I want you guys to go harder for just a few seconds. And the more and more you feel yourself relaxing, the more and more you're doing this right. And then you can go ahead and go back to that visualization place that you created where you're very comfortable, okay? Now that you're in that space where you created, that's very comfortable for you, keep that energy, that light, that red root chakra light that you created. Apply that to that space where you are very relaxed. And now you can also focus on whatever it was that was helping you relax in that visualization space that you created. Now, as you do this, I want you to say a few affirmations, okay? And you can create your own once you get, the point. Say, I feel safe in my body. These are root chakra affirmations. I am enough. I am worthy. Just say things that make you feel safe and things that make you feel grounded and secure. Everything will work out for me. I am on the way to succeeding. When it comes to things that you guys fear about, repeating over and over and saying that the way you want things to turn out, it will. So if you're worried about health, finances, a loved one, whatever it may be, I just want you to repeat over and over. Don't let go of that space of the red light in your root chakra and how bright we have it and how strong we have that light. But just affirm silently to yourself about the things that you worry about, that they're secured and that they are taken care of, okay? So I give you guys about 20-30 seconds to go ahead and do this part. You start to notice that your shoulders are loosening up, the back of your neck, anywhere where you hold a lot of tension. Also visualize these things that you guys worry about that cause stress. Anything that you worry about or that causes a lot of stress, that's what you need to be visualizing, which that's more in an advanced level. You can either visualize that these things are taken care of, or you can tell yourself that you have whatever it is that you struggle or worry about not having. All right, give you about 20 more seconds to go ahead and do this part. Worry about not having money, you want to visualize having all the money you need. A credit card that never declines. You worry about not having whatever it is that you don't have, or you worry about not having it even though you have it. I want you to take this time to visualize or affirm in your mind and say that you have it or that it's already taken care of. You are grounding yourself right now. This is a very powerful practice in meditation. So anything that you guys feel like is impossible, anything that you've struggled with for years, Now is the time while your root chakra is lit up and you have that energy going on, as well as still being relaxed in a very comfortable space. You want to visualize that you guys have successfully attained, accomplished these things that you struggle with, that you worry about. And hold that space for a second. And this is how we are grounding ourselves. Also, I just want to say, you guys, the more that you do this, the better, okay? The faster the results, all right? And some of you guys might be in a mental battle with certain things that you have struggled with for a while that might try to tell you that, you know, it's not going to work or whatever, you know. And that's normal. That's your subconscious, as well as energies that you've stored in your root chakra in the past. You know, they're not used to you guys telling itself something different, telling you, reprogramming your mind. So I will give you a few more seconds to just try to enforce this practice, and do this in a space of love. Make sure you let yourself know that yes, all is well when it comes to these things that you're visualizing. Go ahead and prepare and get ready to wrap this part up with the root chakra. Make sure that you have tried to visualize and tell yourself, even if it's just saying, all of my worries are gone, all of my challenges I overcome, I am stress-free, I am healthy, I am happy, I am loved. Okay, I'll give you guys a few more seconds just to make sure that majority of the things you worry about or that you stress about, while that root chakra is still activated, do this with love. If you feel any resistance, any negative thoughts that try to challenge what you are affirming, right, now move up towards the chest area. You don't have to turn that light off in your root chakra. Stay in that relaxed space that you created in your mind, and go up towards the center of your chest. Okay, right above the belly button, about 2 or 3 inches. And imagine a lime. Most lime have a medium green color. It's not too light, it's not too dark. And I want you to imagine that color green, or you also can use that traffic light example that we use again at nighttime when the light turns green. All right? Or a green crayon, or green leaves on trees, or green grass. But I want you to give it put a little white light to it just so that it glows, okay? And I want you guys to imagine that all around this area, okay, in your chest, you can really use your whole chest. So right up underneath your shoulders, all the way to the top of your belly button, completely around the back, the sides, that this entire area is lit up with a green light. Let it be a green light shower that floods through this entire area and section. And I want you guys to do this still in that space of comfort and relaxation that you were in. And I want you to imagine from a space of love, that you are receiving love from the universe, from Mother Gaia, and from your higher self and your creator. Take a few moments to do this while being mindful. You don't have to focus on it, but I want you to be mindful of things that have caused you to cry, things that have caused you to panic, things that have caused you to hurt. And just imagine that green light shower that is pushing through this entire area, from right up under your shoulders to the top of your belly button, this whole top section that is pushing those energies out. You will feel the love of the universe. I want you to also just keep repeating, I love myself. I love myself. I forgive myself. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You can repeat things like this, but I'm going to give you guys 20 more seconds to do this heart chakra meditation. The universe loves me. The universe heals me. The Most High heals me. My higher self loves me. My higher self heals me. A few more seconds, you guys. Just keep repeating it and keep visualizing this green light shining through this entire area. You can also visualize being in a dark room as well, where this green light is so strong and so powerful that anyone on the outside of this of this dark room, can also see this light. The universe loves me. It's okay. I am loved. I love myself. The universe heals me. I love the universe. The Most High heals me. My higher self heals me. It's okay. Notice how good you feel, and just keep going for a few more seconds, you guys. Notice how you don't feel that much emotional pain, resentment, the need for revenge, and just overall low vibrations that we hold in our emotional space, which is the heart chakra. The universe loves me. It's okay. I love myself. I heal myself. The universe heals me. The Most High heals me. The Most High loves me. It's okay. Don't lose that space of being able to visualize that green light shining through this entire area of your body, even in a dark room where it's glowing and you can see that green light from the outside of that room. Keep repeating those affirmations. And just treat yourself to this very healing, renewing, transformative practice. And I also want you guys now, last but not least, to imagine whatever shade of pink that you want to imagine. And imagine this energy being a very comfortable, soft blanket. Whatever type of blanket that you guys would like as far as texture. It can be silk. It can be some sort of a soft cotton type of blanket, okay? It can be plush, all right? It can be satin. It could be cotton, whatever. Imagine feeling the texture rub against your arms and your face and your legs. And imagine that shade of pink. It could be a soft powder pink. It could be a hot pink. Okay, but it has to be pink. And imagine it being big enough to cover you up like a blanket. All right, and imagine it being in the shape of a heart. Okay. Comes to shapes like square, diamond, heart, make sure that it is in the shape of a heart, like the emoji. Now, before you wrap this around you, I need you to transform it with your mind into a light. It's a light. It's not a blanket, okay? Imagine this as a light, and if you need a little bit more help, you can imagine this pink being able to shine through that dark room. Make that room dark again, and imagine that pink is shining through that room. So on the outside of this dark room, you can see that pink. You can imagine being inside this room and it's pitch black and dark, but you see this pink light. Now that you've done that, wrap it around you. Wrap that light around you. And now you can comfortably embrace this pink light like whatever texture blanket that you guys visualize, okay? Fall into it. You'll start beginning to feel even more relaxed. And continue to think about those affirmations of I am loved by the universe. The universe loves me. It's okay. I'm healed. And stay into this cocoon of this pink light. And whatever hatred, whatever energies of hate, when it comes to not being able to forgive your family members, not being able to forgive yourself for mistakes that you wish you didn't make, I want you to imagine that this light is raising your vibration and that it's healing you and it's removing and washing away any forces or energies of hatred. It's keeping you safe in the energy of love. I'll give you guys a few seconds to intentionalize. How you'll know that you're doing this the right way, you guys, is that you will start to feel very creative and very high vibrational, very adventurous, okay? Your mind will shift towards things that you like, things that you didn't even know you like, and that is that energy of love being poured into you, removing and gravitating you away from the energies of hatred. Hatred is a very strong blockage as well, by the way. It can block things. So I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to let this pink light that you've chose, this shade of pink that you chose, the texture, and as well as that light being able to envelope you in, and you guys get comfortable in that. You still have your red light in your root chakra lit up, as well as your green light in your heart chakra lit up, and we're just going to envelope us with these lights in that comfortable space that we created with this pink light, okay? If it fades, just imagine you're in a pitch black room again and you can see it. take a few seconds. A lot of you guys might start to smell really inviting and pleasurable fragrances and scents. That's normal. Okay, it just all comes with high vibrations. Okay, and pay attention to the things that this pink light shows you about yourself. These are going to be things about, you know, your attraction, maybe people, things that you love, energies that you love, vibrations that you love, frequencies that you love, gifts, talents, pastimes, and just creative things about yourself. Okay, so I'll give you guys about 20-25 seconds, and that is going to be the end of the meditation. You guys can stay in this space as long as you want to watch the playback or repeat this. I want to say thank you ahead of time before we end this to all of you guys that watch the playback. And light and love, namaste. Namaste.